Dane, thank you for joining me. I'm excited to hear about your innovation. It's extremely exciting. However, before we dive into that, can you tell us a little bit about who you are and what you do?
Yeah, absolutely. Obviously, my name is Dane. I'm a tooling coordinator here at the MEM Heavy Vehicle Repair Shop, Suncor Fort Hills. Um, and my innovation is the tool holster Tool Caddy.
So, how did this innovation come about?
So when we started from the ground up in the tool room, um, we realized we had to figure out what our fast-moving items were, and turns out here it's the cordless tooling. It's in and out, in and out. We were trying to find real estate for all of these items, which I'm sure you can imagine with all the impacts and drills and all the things of this nature. It was very difficult to fit these in a drawer. So I had to try and come up with something that would allow us to hand these items out very quickly at the front of the room, make them readily available to all shifts.
So I wanted to take from the time you conceived this innovation to the time you put it into action.
Well, funny enough, I ordered the cart and I had that in mind. So I had the cart itself brought in and then built off of that. So when I started it with a wood platform. And then once I got everything put together, I actually didn't like it. So I unfit it and I refit it with checker plate and metal, and I put everything back together so it would last longer, right? So that's kind of how that sort of happened, and it actually took me about a month to take it apart and put it back together.
Once you were struck with this idea, how did you propose it to leadership on site?
You know what? I didn't. I just sort of took the ball and rolled with it. I knew I had the skill set with my trades background to be able to put this together and make it work. So I had the approval already for the cart. So I just, but I didn't note that I had that in mind. I just kind of, I rolled with it.
And what kind of reception did you get when this was completed?
Oh, it was very positive. Supervision was very happy with the innovation, and they could see that there was already an increase in efficiency. My cross shifts were very happy. It was very easy for them to access these tools and put them away very quickly. So it was overall, it was very positive.
What would you say the biggest impact of this innovation has been?
I would say reduced travel time and real estate. Like we didn't have to try and find a place for this stuff, and walking back and forth over a 12-hour period on the concrete, I mean, causes some fatigue, right? So I would say overall, those have been the main factors involved here.
Were there any other individuals involved in the creation of this innovation?
I actually took this one on my own. I noticed some issues with like the things I had addressed earlier, and I thought I could come up with something that might help everybody.
That's awesome. I love that initiative. Have an idea and running after it. That's great. How do you see the implementation of this kind of idea on other facilities, other sites like yours, other sites across the JB Driver Group, for ease of recreation and implementation at other areas of the business?
I think this would be a very efficient means for tool rooms, tool distribution centers across the board. Really, very easy, not super expensive to innovate, and great for fast movers. In the warehousing industry, we use the 80-20 principle. So 20% of your inventory is going to move 80% of the time. So having your fast movers close to where you're issuing, whether it's a warehouse or like a tool room of this nature, that's going to be more practical for efficiency. You're saving travel time, you're saving time. So I think that across the board, something of this nature could be implemented everywhere.
I want to talk for a second about what motivates you to innovate. What spurred you on to come up with this idea, to chase after it, to implement it? What's your thought process there around innovation?
Well, naturally, I'm a gifted problem solver, if you will. So anytime I come into a situation where I think that we could do something more efficiently, quicker, reduce time. I always try and apply that. So if I see somewhere that I can improve, I will. It's just, luckily enough, it's just one of my skill sets.
Through this, you've obviously been deep in the Think Different, Build Better program and process. What are your thoughts on the program?
I think it's great because it encourages people to sort of think outside of the box, right? Where they can improve upon their own processes, right? And not only in their own department, but all around them. So yes, it does. It encourages people to be creative, and I can really appreciate that within the company.
I'm gonna ask you to take a step back with me now for a second and think on a more global scale, not specifically about any particular project, but more so when you think about innovation and when you think about the innovation program. Is there anything we can do different? Is there anything you can think of where we can get better and where we can improve?
So when I started here, and when I actually initiated this build, I wasn't actually initially introduced to the program. It was just in passing that I heard about it from somebody else's innovation. So I feel like, it's something, during the onboarding process that could be brought more to the front and center. So people are aware of it early on in the process. I think that new eyes see ways that they can be more creative, maybe more so than people that have been immersed in the area for some time.
Absolutely. So what I'm hearing is, a little bit more exposure, whether it's coming up in those indocs, whether it's coming up in more meetings, but just more exposure, more talking about it, coming up in those critical meetings, and just having those discussions with their people about innovation and the innovation program.
Absolutely. I think that, if people understand, maybe what not necessarily is being offered, but, maybe a broader spectrum. What is an innovation? Not everybody really understands the concept behind it, right? So yeah, just, a broader scope of what might be involved with the program.
So tell us what's next for you in terms of innovation. Is there something else on the horizon? Do you have more ideas, more thoughts? Is there more to come? What's the future hold?
Absolutely. I'm constantly innovating in this heavy vehicle tool room. Since we took it from the ground up, I have put my heart and soul into this and really made it something special. So we actually had a visit from the VP of Fort Hill Suncor yesterday. And with all the innovations that have been put in place in this room to increase efficiency, he mentioned the Organizational Excellence Award for all of Suncor, which is really, really big. So that's due to implementing 5S strategies and just things of that nature, proper places for everything. I had actually put in proper hooks for all the hosing, all the pressure hosing, and the scale is actually quite large.
Wow, that's exciting. I really can't wait. So what you're telling me is stay tuned.
Absolutely. I would say that, I could see myself submitting the tool room as a whole. It's pretty darn impressive.
Well, I look forward to the next one. I'm extremely excited about this current one. I think there's a ton of implementation opportunities across the business, great efficiency, great Think Different, Build Better. I'm excited that it won this quarter. And I'm really appreciative. Thank you for spending a little bit of time with me to talk about it.
Hey, thank you very much, and it was absolutely awesome to get chosen for that. So yeah, thank you, and again, I was happy to participate, and look forward to my next submission.
Well, thanks again, Dane. It's great innovation, great example of Think Different, Build Better. To anybody out there who's looking for more information on this particular innovation, how it could impact their project or facility, reach out to tdbb@jvdriver.com, or feel free to reach out to Dane directly. We'll make sure that you get your questions answered. And of course, keep thinking different.